Good morning, everybody. By the time this video is posted, it'll probably be in the evening sometime because I'm trying to put a little bit more effort into my videos. Now, trying to do more of this YouTube thing. So you might not be seeing this until the evening. So good evening, good morning, good night, whatever it is for you. Today I want to do my ranking of the Scream franchise. This is going to be a super long video. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to do a more deep dive, maybe into each movie here in the future. I figured now is a better time than ever. This and Halloween right now is the time to make videos and have discussions because there are sequels for both of these franchises should be coming anytime soon. Anytime soon. Halloween Ends comes out in October, I believe. We're supposed to be getting a trailer for that. Today is the 19th, I believe. No, it's the 18th. We're supposed to be getting a trailer on the 20th for Halloween Ends. And then with everything going around with Scream, with Neve Campbell, is she coming back? Is she not? Blah, 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 blah. I figured this would be a good time to do a video. So I'm here. I hope you can see me okay. My camera is a little fuzzy this morning. I'm here to make a great video for you guys. If you, of course, as always, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like and subscribing to the channel for more reviews, more rankings, more podcasts. And we'll have a good time. So look, I'm going to rank these from worst to best, starting with number 5, because there's 5 movies in the franchise right now. They're working on Scream 6. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I don't have each one on Blu-ray. Well, I do have them all on Blu-ray, but they're like, this is the first 3, and they're all on one disc. I cannot find Scream 4 on Blu-ray. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. But I have the whole collection here, and then this is a brand new copy of Scream 5 that I've never opened because on Paramount Plus they have this movie already digitally. So I've watched it again, but I've watched it on there. Um, anyway, I'm gonna start with the lowest, go from the highest, and let me know how you rank these movies in the comment section below. I think I'm gonna have to put Scream 3 as number 5. Um, Here's why I put it as the last. Well, as a disclaimer, I don't hate any of these movies. Matter of fact, I like them all. Matter of fact, I try to watch them at least once a year because I enjoy what all these movies have to bring, even the ones that are not as good, being this one. This movie came out at a weird time. I don't know how much you guys know as far as the history of in the making of making this movie, but most positive Kevin Williamson, who was the writer for these movies. I mean, obviously you have Wes Craven, he was the director, but I know Kevin Williamson, he was the writer for the first and second one, and in the third one he had to sit out, and there was another writer. So the movie already had a different feel. Plus, it came out shortly after the Columbine shooting, and movie studios everywhere were very like weird about gore, and pushing things too far. Because if you remember, like Scream 1, literally that movie starts out with Casey Becker being hung in a tree with her guts hanging out. You know what I mean? And so like that level of brutality and violence, they did not want that. Um, so Scream 3 was kind of in a weird spot. It's like it wanted to revitalize the franchise, wanted to cap off this trilogy, but they're also limited on how far they could go. And that's why a lot of the kill scenes are not very gory. That's why really this movie is really it's almost like it's an episode of Scooby-Doo, really. That's the best way I can explain it. Like, it's good. Um, the reveal was, whatever, you know what I mean? But I will say, after going back on it, you realize just how much of a badass Roman really was. Because Roman was out here killing everybody by himself. He didn't need any help at all. And because every movie's always had like that double killer, and that's one of my major gripes with the franchise as it stands, is that they have not been able to get away from just having 3 killers, or going back to 1 killer or whatever. They always have to have 2, and even with the newest one. And so Rome was able to kill everybody by himself, and I think it's pretty badass. And for that alone, makes the movie good. And Yeah, I mean, that's all I really got to say about it. It's just one of those, like, it's okay. It's last on the list for a reason. Of course, if I watch the movies, I'll watch them in chronological order. But when I get to the third one, I'm like, okay. So, nah, not don't love it, but I love it because I, I like it because of Scream. Moving on, number four. Might be controversial. Okay, number four would have to be Scream Five. Uh, oh, sorry. I say the movie, and I have it right here. I can show you guys, and I'll probably have some other pictures and stuff up too. But yeah, brand new 4K. Haven't even opened it. I want to talk about Scream Five for a second. Here's why it's lower on the list. I So here's the thing. Going into this movie, I was really hyped, and one of the reasons was, sorry, coffee break. One of those reasons was I kind of feel like Scream. I feel like I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? I didn't really feel so. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The reason why I was hyped was because they were bringing back the OGs. Obviously that already brings a another level of excitement. But what also was exciting was the fact of the reason why they came back. All the OGs were saying we came back because the script was crazy. Oh man, the story is nuts and blah 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 blah. You go watch it, and it's a good Scream film. It's very good, but there's nothing different about it. Like when I'm thinking like a different level, I'm thinking of like, and again, this is like fan shit, but I'm thinking of like Stu Macher being actually alive and being the killer. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking another. I don't even want to say generic because that sounds like a diss. And here's the thing: I genuinely like Scream Five, but it's just not. It's not anything different than what we've gotten before. And I mean, I guess you can have this stuff for like they do the pre, what do they call it, the pre sequel or something like that, and it's kind of like the requel. It's kind of like a remake and a sequel, and I like that aspect. But it wasn't really anything different. Spoiler alert: the major death was Dewey, and I don't hate it, but I don't really necessarily love it either. The killers wasn't that believable to me. Like Jack was okay. Jack Quaid, playing as one of the killers, he was pretty. That made sense. But Amber, his girlfriend or whatever, I just didn't see it, and it just wasn't as I don't know. It just didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. I didn't really like it as much. But you know what? All in all, it's a decent movie, and it's better than three. I mean, I can enjoy five better than three. I will say five is brutal with the killings. Like it's very a lot of stabby, but it's like violent, shanking action, and that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? That's stuff that we haven't really seen in a while. Um, and yeah, like I say, it's not a bad movie, but I think that the killer reveal was kind of weak. I just feel that Dewey dying, while it was impactful, it didn't really hit as good because the story was just okay. Nev, Sydney and Gail, they were barely in it. Which, like I say, when you really think about it, um, the last movie where Dewey and Gale really made a statement was really Scream 3. After that, it hasn't really been their franchise ever since because they obviously focus on other characters, which I'm fine with. I think that sometimes that's good for a horror franchise to move on from the originals. But anyway, look, Scream 5 is a good movie. And moving on to number three. Number three for me would have to be Scream 4. Um, Scream 4, and I put Scream 4 over Scream 5. And the reason why, something about the tone of Scream 4, and this is a personal preference. So maybe if you feel differently or you can tell me why, then by all means tell me. But I feel like Scream 4 has the best like scene making, I guess, out of all of them, in my opinion. Like since the first one, I guess you could say. Like it just has this like really dark and creepy feel to it. Like the way it's shot, the way the scene looks, um, how morbid everybody looks in this movie. It just really creates the tension. You know what I mean? Like yeah, Scream always has those levity parts and humor and making fun of other horror movies and stuff. But I feel like this movie does a really good job of making a really good like atmosphere. Like when Jill's friend gets killed and the house right over from her. Like that is such a vicious scene. Him, I didn't say I was in your closet, and he ends up being, or she. I think it's probably, well, it's he because Jill is over on the other side. He ends up like killing her and then stabbing her and ripping her guts out. And I mean, it looks like if you ever seen Santa Clarita Diet, Joel, one of the characters, he like comes home from work and his wife is a zombie, obviously, and she ripped this guy open, and like the kitchen was just like splattered with blood, like all over the walls. And Joel comes in and goes, "It looks like I'm in the inside of a shark," and that's what that's what it looks like. It looks like really nasty. It just sets the mood, and I just feel like this movie does a really good job with that. The killer reveal was pretty good, I will say. Like I remember watching it when I was, and then that's 2011, so I was in middle school, and I remember being, pretty surprised by it. Um, it's again, it kind of goes back to, I didn't really take Jill as really that, like the killer, but whatever. I love that it was kind of like a change to the ending where she was trying to get away with it. She was like, throwing herself into a glass table and ripping her hair out, stuff, trying to make it look like she survived these murders, all the while she's the killer the whole time. And I thought that was pretty good. And so it was a pretty surprising, and I thought it was a good move, and it was enjoyable. And that's why I put Scream 4 high on the list. In my opinion, I think Scream 4 is one of the best ones after the first. And obviously, how my rankings will go from here. Um, so anyway, number two, Scream 2. I put Scream 2 second, and obviously because I put Scream 2 second, it's going to be my first, but we'll get to that in a minute. Scream 2, coffee break. Scream 2 is actually a perfect example of how a sequel is supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to be bigger, it's supposed to be bloodier. And it's like everything that Randy was talking about, how, sequels are so played out, but if you make one, it has to be this, this, and this. I feel like Scream 2 does that. Scream 2 has the same heart as the first one. Scream 2 has the same kills as the first one, just bloodier, a little bit bigger, a little bit of a bigger, landscape of the kills. And Isao has one of the most like vicious deaths to me, like Randy getting killed inside of that truck. I mean, now he was talking shit about Billy, and I'm assuming that was Billy's mom. Spoiler alert. Sorry, this movie was made in the '90s, but spoiler alert: Billy's mom was one of the killers. And so I imagine when Randy was talking shit about Billy, she was in there getting pissed, and she just stabbed the shit out of him. Um, and I like, and the atmosphere in this movie is pretty good too. It's a lot like the first though. Has those darker moments. Having the killers be Billy and Mickey was really good. Mickey makes a whole lot of sense. That dude was freaking nuts. This is gonna rock. Like, he was just freaking crazy, man. He like wanted to get caught. Like he didn't want to get away with it. He wanted to be known to be like this notorious serial killer. Um, and they try to do a little fake out with Sydney's boyfriend, and and obviously everybody's watching this. They're like, okay, well they did that last movie. I doubt they'll do it this time, but there was like a small chance of you that Derek might have been the killer. And it's cool. It has like a little sneak little Matthew Lillard cameo in Scream 2, which is crazy now because now it's like a meme of like, okay, so Stu's been alive this whole time. He's just been behind the scenes watching. And I'll try to put a picture up as I'm saying this, but it's just really dope, man. I like Scream 2 a lot. It has a lot of magic of the first one. It has all our characters we love back in it. We lose a main with Randy. But all in all, man, I love the tone of the movie. And yeah, it's one of the best sequels out there, really. As far as like in a franchise, it's one of the best sequels out there, and I think they did it great. And like I say, I'll go in more detail about it maybe when I go through each movie. But I really, really like what they do with it. So that brings me to my number one. I think you know what it is. Look, it's iconic. Scream 1, or just Scream 1996 or 1995 or whatever came out. It's fucking fantastic. Like, I can't, there's not really much more I can say other than the fact of it's one of the best slasher films of all time. And not really because of the reveal of the killers, right? Like, even when I was a kid, I mean, like, I was like a freaking baby when this movie came out. When I was able to understand and watch stories and understand what was going on. Um, I knew who the killers were right off the bat. Coffee break. I knew who the killers were. You know what I mean? Like it didn't fool me. It really didn't. Like I'm sorry. Like the guy that plays Billy. I'm drawing a blank on what his name is. I used to know it like right there. But anyway, that guy just has like a really psycho look to him for some reason. Um, when they're sitting when Sydney and Billy, Stu, Tatum, and Randy, they're all sitting out like at this fountain, and they're all like talking about the death of Casey Becker, which is the most iconic opening of movie death probably in cinema. It's got to be close. You know what I mean? I'm sure other people have done it great, but I just feel like it's such an iconic moment with Casey Becker. But when all the friends are sitting outside on the fountain and like they're kind of describing how the killer is feeling while he was killing Casey Becker, I'm sitting there like, okay, so you guys are the killers, huh? That's how I would have been. Like if I'm Randy or if I'm Sydney or Tatum, I'd be like, okay, so one of you is freaking killing people up. It's as simple as that. It's slicing and dicing fools. Um, so that didn't really fool me, but I think just the demeanor of Billy, the sadistic, crazy side of Stu, I think that matched really, really well and made them really, really terrifying. It made sense and it fit perfectly with who they were because like even though like the reveal was that they're the killers, it's like okay, well that's a very scary duo because you see how they act just out, just being normal. And so imagine them being under the mask and they're, doing these horrible things. And so I think it has the most iconic lines like faces said your friends your mom's no Sharon Stone. Like, I mean like it's like really, really like great stuff. Like you hit me with the phone, Dick. Like, I mean, it's just iconic, dude. I mean, so many, you know, pig's blood, the same stuff they use and carry. Like it's just so many. I could Gil Weathers signing off. Great. You know what I mean? Like I could go on and on all day about this movie because it is that good and it's that iconic. And it's one of the best. You know what I mean? So look, this video is gonna be about 18 minutes long. If you stuck that around this long, thank you. I really appreciate it. But and let me know what you guys think. What is your ranking in this franchise? I imagine that all of us who really love these movies, I've seen these movies probably about, with the exception of five, I've seen them all about 20,000 times. You know what I mean? So because these are classics, I probably watch these once every 6 months. And so I feel like a lot of our ranking will be the same. But let me know what yours is. Let me know if you like any of my takes. What's your take on some of these movies? And I plan to do a more in-depth videos on all the movies. I just want to give my personal ranking. And like I say, my ranking doesn't change all that much. Now, if Scream 6 comes out and blows me away, I might put it above five or, I definitely put it over three. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll be back with another one soon enough. With that being said, protect, attack, take naps. Later.